Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 129 of Photo Critiques. And I'm sure you guys have heard I'm no longer accepting any new images for critique. I will be doing the critiques for a while, though I have enough to keep me busy all this month and into March. If you guys haven't heard why I'm not doing critiques anymore, in the description of this video, there's a link. You could click on it, and there's a short article I wrote that explains why I'm not doing critiques and the exciting new thing I'm going to be doing instead of critiques. So be sure to check that out. Now, as I mentioned, this is episode 129, and in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of Jonathon Stasiek. Jonathan is 14 years old, and he told me in an email that he really likes macro and he loves photography. He's really into it, and it's great to hear. And you're going to see he's very, very talented. And this, first shot is a really nice macro shot. This is, a fine art image, really, because it's abstract. And very well done, just beautiful. It's a really nice image, Jonathan. Very well done. This shot here, I like the light. I like the light you have on it, kind of a spotlight, very nice. I like how you have it off to the side and we have all this negative space over here. Very well done. A couple things. See here we could see some faint, like green, probably leaves or something back here. Very, very faint. I don't know if you guys could see that right here. So I would go to the trouble and I would just clone that out so it's totally black. All this is as black as can be. That's just a suggestion there. And the other thing is your focus was just off just a little. It's a little bit soft right in here, and we want the focus right in here. So we want to tighten up that focus right there as much as you could. And you might, when you tighten up that focus, you might want to consider just using slightly smaller, maybe one stop smaller aperture. And that will help make sure that not only is this in tight focus, but all of these are in tight focus also. So all the way around would be in tight focus. So I think that would really push this shot over the top. This is a beautiful shot. I like this a lot. Now, you guys normally you hear me talk about you should always focus on the eyes, which is true. The eyes should always be in focus. But sometimes if you're going for a soft look, a soft focus effect, it's not necessary. See, as you can see, it's kind of soft. But this whole image is soft. The entire image is very soft. And it's a nice effect. And I really do like this shot with just the existing light falling on the child's face. We have this up here, which is distracting. This isn't that bad. This is actually a bit of a leading line. So it looks like the child might be in a car seat possibly, and you took a shot. So I know you probably couldn't control the background a little bit much, but I mean, if you really were so inclined, you could clone this out too and make it all dark like it is here. Make it all dark here. You could leave this bright line here though too, because that just adds some depth to the shot, and it is kind of a leading line. So that's all I could suggest here is this part right here is to get rid of it. The next three shots are kind of running water shots. I kind of grouped them together, and they're not bad though. They're technically very well done. 1 second, f18 ISO 100, 50 millimeters, 2.5 seconds on this one, f of 22. Same other settings, and here was one same as the last one, 1 second, f of 22. Or is the first one, well, 1 second. They're all slightly different. But my point is, what I'm getting at, very technically, very well done. These are very common shots. We all, if we're walking around streams, I mean, we all could get shots like this. What you really got to do is look for something extraordinary when you're walking along these babbling brooks and these streams and stuff like this. So it's a nice practice to get long shutter speed to blur the water and stuff like that, but you really got to look for something different, something out of the ordinary. And it's not easy. It's not easy because it's going to be the same thing probably for miles along this stream, but hopefully you could find something different, a turtle sitting on a rock or something. And so you really got to keep an eye out, look around, and see if you could find something that's not photographed so much. But as I mentioned, you did a great job on these shots, Jonathan. Very well done. This shot here now, I think on this one you really need the strong focus on the eyes. This entire shot is soft too. Um, just the eyes, you can see how they're not super tightly focused. There's kind of a blur to everything. So that's all on this one. It's very tough scene to photograph. We have extreme dynamic range here. Very, very bright over here and very, very dark over here. And so this is a hard shot to do. Generally, on children and women, we don't want strong side lighting. We like it more front lit if possible, or 3/4 front lit at worst. So on children and women, we tend to not want this side light. Men with very distinctive facial features, we might like that side light. Think of a cowboy that's been out on the ranch for 20, 30, 40 years, and they have a very weathered face. Then it's very interesting to have side light to really accentuate all those nooks and crannies on their weather-worn face. So as I mentioned, though, on a child or a woman, we don't really normally like that. But on this one, I think you did a fine job technically pulling it off, that this isn't all blown out over here and this isn't in dark shadow, that we can't see any details. So you did a fine job, but the focus, you just got to get the focus a little tighter. This shot here is very nice. Another nice macro shot. I think I was looking at it to see your focus earlier, and then I saw this, and I think this would be an even better shot if you got in closer. If you could get in closer, it just shows so much more detail and all this nuance of shading in the frozen water. It's just it's a nice shot as is, but I think it would be a better shot if it was closer. It's a nice shot. The background's very, very bright. It helps keep the dying cherries sticking out. But generally speaking, a dying flower or dying fruit isn't a great subject. Now I know what you're doing here. That's an artistic shot showing the death on the branch, and that's nice. And I actually applaud you for something like that. But in general, if you had the same shot and they were very healthy, edible, delicious looking cherries or cranberries, whatever, and they're not cranberries obviously, cherries or whatever on the tree branch, it would be a much more appealing shot. This is a great shot. I really like this shot. Just again, this is kind of like the typical artistic macro, and it's really well done. I like how you positioned it so that these puff seeds are going from the lower right and going out through the frames, fanning out like that. Really well done. Very, very nice. That is a great shot, Jonathan. I think that's the last one. Yep. Jonathan, you're super talented. Super talented for 14 for 40. You're a super talented photographer. Very nice job, and thanks for sharing your work with us. And keep it up. Keep it up. I hope you become he told me that he hopes to be a top flight wedding photographer someday and travel the world and do weddings. And I hope you do too, Jonathan. You're very talented. And thank you everyone for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. And if you have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com, and check out all the photography stuff I have over there. And if you could, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.